person who is writing, and then we should revert back to them separately.
Sure, sir. We'll do that.
And we should make a note of all the attendees who are there, along with their school names and, if possible, their email IDs also.
Yeah, we do have that.
Table let you know, please.
Learning must go on. I thank each and everybody who was part of this call and have made it to join and participate and share their views. We have this especially being designed and in collaboration with Acer, where Mr. Anand is there, who would be definitely sharing his insights, and Mr. Manoj Kumar Bandhu, who is heading IT and definitely the technology part for us, wherein we talk about all those challenges and contemporary challenges today we are facing in our day-to-day operations at schools, and looking at the current scenario of COVID, how well we can manage and we can look at it in terms of managing the IT services at school. We'll be definitely talking about it. So before I hand it over to Manoj sir, I would also mention that at the end of the session, we would just take 5 minutes of your time, wherein we would be putting up a link where there will be a short quiz, and has to be attempted by top 5 participants who will participate and be shortlisted from there, and a feedback small. So that's it from us, from my side. I'll hand it over to Manoj sir now.
Thank you, Piyush. Thank you for your introduction. I welcome once again to all the participants on behalf of Tata Classes family. Along with me is Mr. Anand, who will be representing Acer India Limited. Acer is our prime partner with respect to a lot of development which we are doing with Acer, and we are thankful to Acer for giving us their time and joining this webinar with their insights. Definitely their insights is going to help all of us. To start off with, definitely the agenda, I believe, has been already been shared with you. We'd like to have some kind of interaction with you people and share some kind of best practices which you as an IT backbone of a school has undertaken during this COVID scenario. So we'd like to hear from you what are the challenges you faced, what are the best practices you took to overcome those challenges. And we would definitely like to have some kind of interaction which can give you an insight what should be an ideal IT roles and responsibility in the new normal, which is definitely going to happen now post the COVID scenario. So as the situation today prevails, and we all are going through a different kind of change altogether, and this is a very much part of an IT industry. You can say in an IT field or an IT domain, nothing is constant. So change is inevitable. Whatever we are practicing today, tomorrow it is going to change. It will be a new technology, new way of looking into it, new process, new policies, everything would be a change is inevitable for an IT background people. But COVID scenario has given us a lot of what I can say a thrust. It has given us a thrust to move forward and not only have the change as per our own convenience or our own way of looking into a change, but the time has come where we have to think beyond certain limits of ours and go further to take the entire IT organization of a school in a whole in such a position so that not only this kind of situations or this kind of pandemic or epidemic which are becoming a showstopper as on date should be overcome, but as well as if anything else comes up tomorrow, maybe any other obstruction or hurdles which comes into the normal teaching learning process. So we are well equipped and we are well tuned into it so that we can overcome that challenge. So having said so, definitely these are a very challenging time for all of us, and I believe each and every schools has taken up it in their own ways. So you might have started the online teaching learning process, you might have started already the online assessment or online test. You might have already done some kind of infrastructure deployment in your school or at ask the teachers or the parents and the students to do some kind of enhancement in their overall infrastructure requirement for an online teaching learning process. So these are something which was a call of a time, and if the school doesn't move or if the school doesn't adapt to this change, then obviously the entire teaching learning process, which is the core or the nucleus of any school, will get hampered. Because these are very critical phases. It's the start of a session and the students are going into a new class, and they would love to go to the schools for having a new class, gets the new textbook. The smell of the textbooks obviously gives a lot of pleasure to the student. So, but the situation which has now come into the place is that all these things are left behind, and we are struggling how to get the teaching learning process enabled in a school environment. So that is the real challenge now, and I believe each and every one of us are facing that challenge. So what is the main posing area or the main challenging area is all known to us, but I will not discuss on that part because that's already known to all of us as a whole, that what is the present challenge and what needs to be done to overcome those present challenges. But having said so, there was a study done by the Harvard Business Schools, and they have come up with a very good term for this kind of situation or this kind of scenario we are presently lying in. They are saying that present world is a VUCA world, and it's a very, very unique term which they have given to all of us. So what is a VUCA world? VUCA world is nothing but if you elaborate that word VUCA, it says that we all are into a stage of volatility. So it's a volatility which is prevailing all across the stakeholder. Why I'm saying stakeholder, because we are discussing about the school. So it's a volatility within the teachers, the parents, the students, the entire the school community. And there's the second is that there is an uncertainty which is prevailing. We never know when the school will again be back to normal, whether or not it will be back to normal, whether we will be able to conduct the physical classroom or not, or it is going to be an online classroom for all or for certain trenches of students. Maybe the higher classes will be able to come, the lower or the junior or the kindergarten might not come. There's a lot of uncertainty is prevailing. And third is that complexity. With uncertainty comes a complexity. So
Hello.
if we are not certain what is going to be tomorrow, how do we take it up? What should be our way forward or approach to look into that kind of scenario? That is where the complexity is lying now. And finally is the ambiguity. There is a lot of ambiguity because of this volatility, uncertainty and complexity. The world is going through a lot of ambiguity. So this is what is called a VUCA world, and our business study or the review has said we have to take up this challenge, and we have to take up this challenge on a right spirit, not look it as a kind of a bottleneck or as a kind of a hurdle, which cannot be sailed through or passed through. So we should look for a way to overcome this challenge which this VUCA world has posed us. So with this, I will take a pause and I'll ask Anand to share his thoughts before we can proceed forward. So Anand, over to you.
Yeah, hi. As Manoj just shared about VUCA and HBR study, so I slightly differ when it comes to school education. School education, I understand in India with Tata classes deployment, device deployment, we were actually ahead of the curve. See, there are the schools who are participating here, and I'm thankful to all the stakeholders who are part of this webinar because they have adopted technology ahead of the curve, have continued the learning for their children ahead of the curve, and you have been instrumental, I think, in India. Uncertainty regarding delivery of teaching was not at all there. I think the moment school lockdown was announced, you are the pioneer. You are the schools who are pioneer who quickly responded that yes, now if the walls are not there, but today we live in virtual world. Thankfully, I appreciate efforts done by all the IT coordinators, principals, teachers of the school, and Tata Classes who jumped into the wagon and connected with almost a very large number of schools, gave them whatever solution in a shortest possible time was delivered. So one part was definitely uncertainty of delivery of the teacher education was not there. Uncertainty, yes, uncertainty is in a human mind. What will happen tomorrow? What will not happen tomorrow? But fortunately and unfortunately, we have seen as we have seen the people are talking about. It is more of a media created uncertainty, and I appreciate if your community, specifically teachers who are imparting teaching, you are guiding to the students, you are creating future for the country. If you can educate that hand hygiene and oral hygiene are the two critical part. So I think and when positive side, when we see in India during the COVID, recovery rates are very high. All schools are equipped with very good teaching methodology, which is online. So if we just minus uncertainty or volatility, yes, is in the business cycle. There is definitely a volatility, but when I look at education is seamlessly been delivered, and I think all IT team, technical team, our ACES technical team, we are working very closely and has ensured in last about 70 days the business which are operating. Business means the educational institution delivering online education, banking system remain uninterrupted. The deliveries were done, and yes, now government will also, to me, the bigger challenge which has come in, where a large number of time, which was the parents were resisting all throughout the years, that the child is spending in front of the screen, that has sizably gone up, because if you look at on average in a day, 3 to 4 hours of teaching has been delivered. So having said that, this is also pushed a challenge on the teachers and the IT, because large number of classes are being conducted. So nobody would like to see a downtime. Everything is up and running, and secure devices, secure connection should be there, and we should not see. We are always tempted to free. Like some of the platform offered services to us on free, and then we have seen the results. All non-acceptable content getting through pushed through that those channels. So having said that, the Tata Classes also worked out on a communication medium which is safer. Definitely, when you build in some technologies, when you do certain development, this will not be free. They'll have a cost. But then you are securing your end of the day children. Though we say the children belongs to parent, but the school of thought which I'm from, that every teacher has always said that this is my student, this is my child. So all teachers have owned the students all throughout their career span from say about 14 years. They are there in the school. Yes, we agree there will be physical touch may not be there, but all those students will be connected with the teachers through their heart. And fortunately, in India, we always believe in a personal touch, and a personal touch has always kept us going, and that is the reason the student who pass out from schools always respect their teacher and value that relationship they have carried for 14 years, 15 years. That's a very good thing, and alumni plays a very important role in both growth of the school, growth of the students. Having said that, from on Acer, we always maintain that we will always provide seamless technology. We will provide whatever support is required, and and then we will so that we and Acer and Tata Classes both work as per your wish list. So we look forward from hearing from you where are the challenges, where both Tata Classes and Acer can work jointly or maybe independently, so that this medium remains continued. And now the new norm will be is acceptable now. Online learning is going to be acceptable now.
Right.
So this is with this I put this back to my respectable community, teaching community and IT community, to share some best practices or good practices which is adopted by you. Some of the challenges which you faced. So here we will it is not that either Manoj will know or Anand will know or Acer will know or Tata Classes will know. We all adopted best possible practices while we have discussed. So there can be a possibility that within our group we will get some answers. So I put this my line mute and will jump in whenever needed. Thank you Manoj.
Thanks, Anand. Thanks for your input. Yeah, you rightly said. Online teaching, learning is going to be the new normal, and we obviously the Indian teachers or Indian community are very, what I can say, very open-minded when it comes to taking up the challenges, and that's what has been predominantly evident now. The students or the parents who were reluctant or resistant in allowing their children to use mobile or have any kind of online tools or online viewing of any subject material. They are now asking the students, why don't you join the online classroom? Let your learning increase. And so that's how the change happened. So as rightly said by Anand, because it's an interactive session, so we would like to have some opinion, some feedback, some insights from our respective guests from the IT background. Whatever you have done in your school in enhancing the teaching learning process, what are the best practices you took, what are challenges you faced, and how did you overcome those challenges, so that we can take up those insights from you, and we also learn and others also learn from that. So I'll just open this session for the guests to share their views.
My only request to every one of you will be just do not speak together one at a time, and as we speak one at a time, it will help all of us.
Yeah, and the requirement for video is also not required because it consumes a lot of bandwidth. You can turn off the video and you can unmute and you can share your opinion. Yeah, I can see some hand raised.
Sir, this is Amarpreet.
Yeah, ma'am, tell me.
Okay, I'm working with Kamal Model Senior Secondary School, Mohan Garden.
Okay.
We adopted Zoom at the very first information provided by Tata Classes only. So we started using Zoom, and afterwards that it got controversial. So we were trying to switch to Microsoft Teams now, but it don't have all the facilities that were in the Zoom. So teachers are not much comfortable. The login process is so difficult for some of the parents. It's still a challenge for all of us. As a teacher also, as I have to do all the queries.
Okay. So, yeah.
Somebody has unmuted himself, and we are not able to mute all the people here. You know, everybody had the permission to unmute themselves at any time. So
Right.
these are
Right.
the things that were available with Zoom, but it is getting controversial day by
Yeah, I
day.
understand.
I
You're
don't
very
know.
right. Very rightly
It
said.
is.
Zoom or WebEx or Team. These are not the platform to have an online teaching. These are basically a video conferencing platform, and used by the
Actually.
corporates or therefore having their online meetings done. But for a school where obviously the students are not so much decorative, I will say decorative because they would like to fiddle around. So whenever they say some hand is written, they will try to click on that. A speaker button, they will try to click on that. So it's a kind of it's a child brain. We can't stop that. So definitely these are the limitation. But having said so, since you have taken up Zoom and you have taken the classroom, because that was the call of the time, and you cannot have any kind of bottleneck where the teaching learning process cannot be given to schools, and you find Zoom as the right platform at that moment, and you took Zoom. So that's it's nothing wrong which you did, but obviously some limitations are there which you faced, and that is what is going to be the next challenge. How do you overcome those challenges? Very rightly said. So thanks, madam. Thanks for your input. So any other insights, any other best practices or challenges you faced? Anyone from the group can share their best practices. Yeah, Mr.
Good
Manish
afternoon.
Kumar. Yeah,
Yeah.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Stuti Gupta from Venkateshwar Global School, Rohini. So,
Okay.
like we have started our online classes somewhere in March with class
Mm-hmm.
12th batch.
Okay.
So, there initially we had certain problems of maintaining attendance and to ensure whether the child is physically attending our classes or not. So, it's
Mm.
sometimes, students attend, they join in the meeting, but they are physically there attending our class. And it was very important to ensure that.
Right.
Moreover, there was a tendency, like right now also we are facing certain challenges in Microsoft Teams where students are able to start the meeting before the teacher does.
Right.
So eventually from March onwards, by and by, when we were taking classes, we have overcome many such challenges. We are able to now even successfully take live sessions with people, not only nationally but internationally also. So
Okay.
like Sunday we have one more live sessions for the as an international event. So
Mm-hmm.
but when it comes to students, so initially ensuring the students presence, attendance was another concern. Students making others, muting others and unmuting, so
Right.
on and so forth. These were the various challenges we faced. But by and by, I think when Microsoft has been rolling out various features, better features, so now we have a provision of seeing, as of now, 3 by 3 screen where we can see 9 students at the same time on the screen. But now we are
Right.
having 7 by 7, 49 students can be seen or are visible at the same time. We
Mm.
are able to easily download attendance for all those who are present. In fact, that attendance, that's basically a CSV file which tells us which student joined in at what time, exited at what time, so on and so forth. So we have better facilities. Not only this, we have also taken assignments on online tests. So like for current batch of various classes from class 6 onwards, we are taking like periodic tests online. So that
Right.
is also possible. We are uploading assignments also, holiday homeworks, everything. So we are, I think, managing quite well with Microsoft Teams as of now.
Oh, great, great to hear that you have faced challenges and you did something to overcome those challenges. That's what is required by an IT professional basically, because uh, leave about the IT, means anywhere, everywhere, whatever fields you are in, you need to overcome the challenges. And IT nowadays will come to a forefront. That's inevitable, because if you see in the early 90s, IT was considered as a function who will help in driving the business. Basically, they were used to give some information, some data, which will help the business to move forward. So that was the role of IT in the early 90s. Then
Yes.
later on, it becomes a kind of a business enabler. So it was like an IT was a business enabler. You consider today's scenario, everything is revolving around IT. You consider any kind of business, be it Amazon, be it Ola, be it Zomato, Swiggy, all are IT enabled business. So IT is definitely driving that, not only driving the business, but making the business to grow. That's a business enabler now. But
In
tomorrow,
fact, now CBSE is also talking about ICT in classrooms
yeah,
and
right.
all. Yes.
So that's what, going forward, IT will not be restricted up to business enabler. IT will become the fulcrum of business. So it will be the fulcrum now. It will be the driving lever for any kind of business, which includes schools also. So schools cannot be left apart. And IT, as it will become a very critical role, will play a very critical role in driving the schools to the next level. It is,
Absolutely.
we are now seeing it as a part of only one section, which is online teaching learning. But there are a lot of things to do for IT in schools. What you rightly said, the safety aspects, it will be critical now. The safety and security of the school infrastructure, the control which you want to give to your teacher, because you don't want to give control to the audience, to the students or to the parents. The control should lie with the teacher. Teacher is the super power here. He or she will like to mute somebody, will like to give an unmute permission, will like to ask question to a particular student. That's what is needed now. It cannot be the other way, where anyone can start the session, anyone can unmute, anyone can have a cross chat between themselves. Maybe the student teacher is studying some chapter, the students in between are using the chat box and chatting around. So those are the things which has to be now driven and controlled by IT as a function. So very rightly said, there will be challenges and we need to overcome those challenges the right way. So I could see, Madam.
Stuti, Manoj, Stuti, very good and very encouraging word that your school has taken so many steps, and
Thank
maybe
you,
a
sir.
very good, a small synopsis can be created. Some of the SOPs, maybe this will, if we can be shared with us, this will definitely help all of us in moving ahead of the curve. And it will also, see, yes, you with your efforts, you have done some good work. But I'm sure when we work with Tata, when we at Acer at Tata Classes work with various schools across the length and the breadth of the world, we are able to give them, suggest some business practices. And we believe that business practices has always come in from the user group. And this is like something which we talk about. We had a problem, a big problem, not the challenge. We had a problem, big problem when the year 99 was there, and computer never understood what will be 2000. So every whole world was running, but I think we migrated from
Right.
99 to 2000 without anybody never knew that we migrated to 2000. And
Yes,
this
sir.
all was done by the user group who taught peer group, and then we learned. So we will appreciate if a small synopsis of good practices adopted by you can be shared, will be beneficial for all of us. Thank you,
Surely, sir.
and we appreciate your effort, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Right. So any other insights, best practices? We'd love to hear from our audience, respected audience.
Well, on a lighter note, I would like to share, like, time constraint has become a lot of challenge for teachers. Like, there is no time limit to anything. Like, within the school boundaries,
Right.
physically there, it was like still time limit was there, but there is no time limit as of now.
No, you rightly said, because now time has become the key, and it has to be time bounded. Every activity has to be time bounded. And when we faced this challenge of COVID, maybe in the mid of March, we were not prepared. To be very frank, nobody was prepared enough. Maybe we have something, but it was not foolproof. It was not equipped enough to have this kind of online teaching learning process. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are the challenges, and we took some step. I mean, each and every one of us, be it the schools and IT professional like you, be it the service provider, any service provider, they did some kind of re-engineering themselves and came up with a solution. So that's how it's going to be. And you rightly said the challenges of our online school operations will remain. And what are the few challenges? How to communicate with students and parents, because they are an important stakeholder and a very vital stakeholder. Without proper communication with the students and parents, you cannot have offline teaching replicated into an online school. Preparing parents for and students for an online classroom adaptation is very, very crucial here. And
Yes, sir.
second thing, you have to implement certain rules, protocols, and discipline. That's what is important. Third,
Absolutely.
most important is the teachers. The teachers will not be same. Some will be IT savvy, some will not be so IT savvy, some will face some challenge. So you need to have a kind of an training session, maybe a training session or a self troubleshooting, or what Anand says, a FAQ for your teachers also. Because today, in today's scenario, your school might be having an IT infrastructure, maybe 100 nodes maximum, or maybe 100 to 200 nodes you are supporting from an IT background. It's troubleshooting, or it's workability you are managing. But tomorrow, each and every student will be your end user. Each and every teacher will be an end user. So 100 will multiply by maybe 10 or 20. So as a person, you will not be having that bandwidth to cater to each and everybody's requirement. So there has to be some kind of self troubleshooting tips, which as an IT professional, you have to get it for your teachers, for your students, and maybe for parents also, because parents orientation is also required. And then
Yes, sir. And
finally,
I'm really proud to say that I have a wonderful IT team,
right,
who is like catering to such challenges, and we are really, making all the parents aware, and students aware, and in fact the teacher fraternity aware, teaching fraternity aware about it.
very right, very right. Yeah, that's how what we wanted is that we should progress collectively. It cannot be the school progresses and the students and parents are left apart, and the other way is also not what. So it has to be a community kind of thing. It's an involvement which takes the entire community to the next level. And
Yes.
while we can understand that there are a lot of challenges, yes, the first and foremost challenges will be the internet bandwidth or the
In fact,
availability
the
of internet.
hardware also, sir. Like all of a sudden, this lockdown started. Not
Hmm.
everybody
Yeah,
even
yeah.
have an access to proper hardware.
Yeah, so maybe tomorrow you need to think through to give some certain kind of hardware to students, to teachers. Maybe the teachers might not be able to come to school, so they need proper tools and infrastructure at their home itself. Maybe a laptop will be much more easy for them to take an online classroom than a 6 inches mobile phone, or a tablet for that matter. And students might be given a tablet, because in today's world, even though we are saying we are progressing, not all students will have their own mobile. Maybe they are using parents' mobile, or some relatives' mobile. And now, since the lockdown has started to ease and we are entering into an unlock period, the parents will start to move out now for their work, for the daily routine activity. And scenario might come when the online classes are on, the student doesn't have any device to get into the online classroom. So we need to think into that angle also, that if the new normal is going to be like that, the students are not allowed to come to schools, then what next for them? So we need to have some kind of infrastructure available for them also as a student. Maybe a tablet which gives them a restricted accessibility. They are only allowed to use an online teaching methodology permitted by the schools. They are not been open to external world, because today once we give the internet, the students are very smart now, and they will be having an intention to Google around, to go into YouTube channel or to some other channels which they might not be required to go through. So all those facilities and the checkpoints we have to now implement going forward. And not only online teaching ends after having a chapter or a classroom being taken. So then next is we have to assign some homework to the students. We have to
Assessments, yes.
assessment. We have to conduct assessment. We have to publish results also. So all those things will be definitely the next step forward for the school's operations. And there is where the IT plays a very important role. Because if you ask us, the Tata Classes fraternity being your educational partner, or Acer, who is our prime partner in supporting us with the necessary hardware and equipment. So the most important thing for IT fraternity of a school will be building up a long-term relationship. And when I say it's a long-term relationship, it's not only with your partners, your service provider, but it will be definitely with your stakeholders, your teachers also, your students, your parents. So that's the long-term relationship you have to build with all your stakeholders, your internal stakeholders, your external customers also, which will help in transforming the teaching learning process. So relationship is going to be the key, because as on date, if you consider the IT team was in the back end, it was working from the back end, making the school to get the necessary IT infrastructure done, maybe the necessary networking, the internet, the firewall, all those things they were setting up. But now you have to scale up. You have to scale up to the external world. So there where the relationship maker, and everything and anything, whatever you are doing has to be basically, you will, as an IT fraternity or an IT background of the school, the change will happen, and the change should happen from within the team itself. So IT team should look this new normal as a challenge and adapt to this challenge by changing themselves also. Because as I started off, the technology is changing very fast. But it's not only the technology change which the IT has to adapt to, other things also, the change in the external world, change in the mindset of the people, or change in which the teaching methodology will be going to be tomorrow. That change also has to come into an IT fraternity also. And most important is that it is now going to be a very, very vital is that you need to find out the right partner, because getting a vendor who can support you in delivering some spare parts or some equipment is very easy. But what will partner help you? Partner will help you with the technology, not with the product. And the call of the time is that you should have a technology, because product is something which is a break fix, but technology is going to help you grow in a long run, because it's not a short-term gain which you're looking for. Maybe you can have an online teaching learning process, you can have Zoom, you can have a Skype, or you can have a Microsoft Team, or an XYZ platform to have an online teaching learning process, and you can then enhance on them, you'll build upon on that. But that is not going to be the end of the story. You need to scale up. You need to have a very good partner who can give you with a lot of technology. As what Anand also pointed out, there are a lot of products in the market, but what will be the right product for you? You have to find out that, and who can help you in finding out that is a good partner for you. It can be your internal team, you can make up your own internal team. You can look for some external partners also. But that partnership is important now, and that partnership will give you, it will give you to think something which is beyond the present scenario. Think big, think tomorrow, and every partner, whatever you are choosing, don't consider only the product, but consider the service also, because service is going to be the key for you, and it's there where the lacking is now happening in today's IT world. We can get a lot of product in the market, but service becomes the key now. And when we say service becomes the key, it's not only the service of the product, but service comes with a lot of training capabilities also. Who have the necessary training capabilities, who has the thinking capability, and who can guide you into the right direction. So that's what the partnership orientation is required by an IT team. And finally, the digital competency is very much required, because unless we know what is best for my school, which can help my school to grow, and along with my school it can help my teachers, my parents, my students to also scale up, then I am not prepared enough. I am not having the right digital competencies to take my school into the next level. So digital competency is very much important in this today's world. And finally, is that wherever and in which field we are in, And when I mean that which field we are in, it can be an IT, I can be a teacher, I can be an administrator in the school, I can be an headmaster of the school. But wherever and whatever field I am in, I should always leave a smart legacy behind. And that is what the key for an IT team now. Because today the COVID has given us a challenge to have some kind of break fix. Maybe that break fix we can build upon, we can have some kind of enhancement on that and have a foolproof solution. But a legacy will not be considered with a break fix. And legacy has to be a smart. So when we mean smart, so it has to be specific. Whatever I am doing for my school, I know why I am doing. And I need to be very specific on my requirement for the school. And not only specific, the requirement should be measurable, it should be achievable, it should be realistic. It cannot be an ambiguous and a hypothetical thing which I am doing. It has to be realistic. And as rightly the audience has said, it has to be completed in a timely manner. So whichever things are required for a school IT team to overcome, not only to overcome this challenge, but for a future, what I can say, I will not say problem, but a future requirement also, it has to be specific, it has to be measurable, achievable, realistic and timely manner. So anything and everything has to be completed in a timely manner, then only the value is being noticed and you will get some kind of value for your work. So these are the primary responsibility and roles of an IT backbone of a school. So whether it's a COVID scenario or non-COVID scenario, but the requirements, the challenges, the kind of enabler for your business or the fulcrum of your business will remain the same. That you have to adapt to the change. You have to have a good partner who can guide you, who can take you to a different level and help you in going through a next level of your requirement. And you should have everything and anything should be done on a time-bound scenario. So I'm still waiting for a few best practices from the audience. I'll again take a pause here in case if you can share, any of the audience can share their best practices which they have taken for their school. And any kind of help or support you require from Tata Classes or Acer, we are there to help you out. As of now, I can tell you we have already launched, maybe you are aware of that, we have already launched a virtual Classes platform. So you need not have any kind of third-party tool like a Zoom or a Skype or a WebEx or a Microsoft Teams. Because what is there, you might be having a content or an online teaching platform and you need a Zoom to have that facility, that virtual classroom or a video conferencing facility to get that teacher engaged or having a virtual classroom with that student. But as of now, what we have done, we have integrated. We have already launched our new product, which is called Tata Classes, Virtual Classes, and that is an integrated platform. So with a single login, the teacher can log in into the Tata Classes platform as well as with the online virtual classes platform. And it gives a lot of, because the safety and security is the key, as the audience has already pointed out. And with Zoom, you rightly said that there are a lot of safety concerns, and the Government of India is definitely working on that. And then this platform or the Tata Classes platform, we try to take up all the safety and security aspects so that there is no kind of a leakage into the information by the external world. So entire classroom which is being taken up by the student, not the student, sorry, I beg your pardon, by the teacher, it gets recorded and it's encrypted. So if anybody by any chance tries to hack to that recorded version of the teacher classroom, he or she will require a password. Second could be somebody takes or gives the password or hacks the password, he will be able to log into the virtual classes platform, but he will not be able to download that recorded version, or he will not be able to play it into or use it into any kind of YouTube or WhatsApp media, because it's an encrypted one. So that person would need a decryptor which is available with that platform only to run that video. So that's one way of having a security done. Plus, it will give a lot of features like the teacher will be super admin. So the teacher will, unless the teacher gives permission to any student, that student will not be able to unmute himself. They will not be able to start their video unless the permission is given. Plus that online assessments, the homework, everything is we tried to get all the pain area which this situation has given or posed to the online teaching platform. We try to overcome that. So that product is ready. We also can help you out in finding the right product for your teachers, maybe some laptop or a tablet, which will definitely help you in getting the teacher in a much more convenient way of teaching or taking the classroom. For students also, if you have any kind of requirement, you can definitely approach any of our field team member, because I believe all are in touch with you, our technical team, our academic team, our field sales team. So we are here to help you out to find the right product and have a kind of a proper demonstration of the product and help you in choosing the right product. So that's how we wanted to have it, because see, we don't want to sell any product as a kind of a selling mechanism. We wanted to have a partnership done, and with that, definitely, because when we started off, we were also very new to this education ground, and we grown up with the help of you people, with the help of distinguished principals, teachers, or all our esteemed customers and schools. So we learned lot of things from them, and we enhanced our product. And similar thing we wanted to do in this kind of scenario. This challenging time is not only for you, it's a challenging time for us also. So we wanted to take your inputs, build something onto that, and give it back to you, because that's where is our essence or our main core area would lie. That we don't want something which is not required or it's a misfit for a school. We want something to give it to you basis your requirement. And when the challenges of this online teaching learning came, we took some responses from most of the students, from the parents, from the teachers, from schools also, and we build up on that, and we have come out with a solution. So that is there for you to explore. We are definitely there along with Acer to give you and help you in finding the right product for your teachers, for your students. So anything and everything, whatever you require in for your next level of teaching learning process, we are here to help you out. So I could see some hand raised by Miss Amanpreet Kaur. So yeah, if you can ask your question.
Sir, not anymore. Thank you.
Okay, great. So we still have another 8-10 minutes time, so we are ready to take a few more questions.
Good afternoon, sir. I am from the DPS Bahadurgarh. My name is Manish Kumar.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Tell me.
Good afternoon, sir. As we have gone through a lot of time has passed in taking the online classes. In the earlier phases, we had faced a lot of difficulties, but now the things has been covered up. Now the main problem we are facing in the evaluation. Classes are going on, students are attending, teachers are taking the classes, but whenever the time we have to evaluate, we face a lot of difficulty. So just we want some suggestions from your side. What will be the right platform and what will be the right tool to evaluate the students?
Yeah. See, there are a lot of tools rightly presently also it's available. You can have a Google Classroom which has an inbuilt tool available for taking an online test. There are tools like if you want to take a kind of a MCQ kind of thing, you can have various lot of tools are available in the market. But what will be the right approach or right way of having this assessment? It's up to basically the school has to decide. If the school says, you know, I am happy with an MCQ kind of assessment for students, then school there are a lot of free tools are available where you can the teachers can.
You are right, sir. But we cannot confine the entire test to the MCQ only. There are varieties of the
Right,
test and the
right.
questions we have to with.
Yeah,
So
very
that
good.
is the main concern,
So,
right,
so
sir?
that's where I am going now. So there are a lot of free tools available, and it's pertaining basically up to MCQ. But if you want a subjective type of questions being given to students and they response back, so there are two methodology. One, you can have a kind of an open book exam, because that's what the key is going to lie. You are unable to see, the teacher is unable to see whether the students are checking any notebook or books and writing the exams or not, because they are not in front of the students, the student is at their home, or the teacher might be at their home also. So the open book
Right.
concept is what could be another thing. You can have a different kind of scenario, like you can have an online subjective test also with a time, what I can say, the counter given to it, or a clock time given to it. So any particular questions has to be answered within that particular time limit. And if that answer is not being responded, then the questions automatically moves out of the screen. So that is the second way of approaching. But what is required, basically what we are trying to convey here, there is no fixed way of taking an assessment. You can have MCQ, because MCQ would be very easy to implement. Subjective will be will take little bit of time, but there are a lot of tools available. In our product also, what we have tried to do is that we have an assessment kind of thing which is there, but there will be another assessment tools or another assessment application which we are building on, because we got this kind of feedback that MCQ is not going to help us, because present our the software which we have launched, or the application which we have launched is having an MCQ inbuilt. But since the requirement and the request has come for subjective, so we are working on it, and maybe by next month we will be definitely coming up with a subjective type of assessment which is being passed on to the schools also. So the work is in progress, keeping all this requirement is in mind. But as on
And
date,
sir,
what I can suggest you, the present application which is there, that the virtual classes, the facility is given to the teacher that they can upload a file. Maybe the question is written by a teacher in a Word file, and he or she has converted into a PDF file, just like a question paper, and then that question paper can be shared with the students. So that question paper is okay. So the student can download that PDF file, write it on that PDF file, and again upload it back, and the teacher will be able to get that answer. But obviously, that is what the open book kind of exam is all about. So that is what we presently have. But to have a realistic way of having a subjective type of answer, where it will be a time bound, it might be having an adaptive way of teaching learning process, because one way is looking at an artificial intelligence model inbuilt into a question and answer subjective type of answer, and you can have a student to student different level of question. Maybe the top students, you can have a different level of question, or a some students who need a little bit of assistance can a different level of question. That's called an artificial intelligence way of designing a question, or an adaptive way of preparing a question, so that based on the response of a student, the question changes automatically. Maybe you can start with a primary knowledge base of an chapter, but while you see the response, the time in which the student is responding, maybe the fastest students who are responding knows the topic very well. So the level of question, or the level or the intensity of the question increases. So as and when the student gives answer, the backend team, the adaptability learning or an artificial intelligence team comes to know or judges the intelligence of a student, and the difficulty level of the questions also changes. So that's how the tomorrow's question and answer, or a test, an online test and assessment is going to be. So it will be more of an adaptive way of teaching learning. It will be an open book kind of exam, It could be basis some kind of studies which are being done. So all those things put together. So this is where obviously some work is going on across the globe. How the online assessment is going to be, because physical assessment where the students and the invigilator are roaming around the classroom and students are bound or made to write an answer paper without cheating. So that's going to change, and it is going to be an online assessment. So how and where, what all things we need to do to ensure that the safety and security is maintained, the basic hygiene like the cheating and everything cannot be done by a student, and how can we judge the intelligence or the knowledge which the student has gathered from that chapter. So that's how the tomorrow's world on assessment is going to be. So I hope that answered your questions.
Yes, sir. Right.
So any other questions, because we have another 2 minutes left for this webinar.
So Manoj sir, just small piece of information here. Can I come in?
Yeah.
Okay, we have somebody raising hand for you. If you can, then I'll just.
Yeah, I could not see that hand. So
Hello.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Myself is Atul Kumar Mishra from Padma Binani Public School, Aditya Nagar.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yeah.
How to save large amounts of data online? Because it's difficult to save in hard disk or any secondary storage device.
I got you.
How do you provide this facility?
Okay. So there is the key, because if you see, physical storing is an obsolete technology now. So in any kind of infrastructure requirement, so everything and anything is now moving into a cloud. So that's what I said, you need to think for tomorrow, not for today. If you are restricting yourself for a local storage, maybe your local server, or you are building up a proper server infrastructure with a proper backup, a primary domain server or a secondary domain server, so that one crashes, the other system. That is where it's not going to help you for tomorrow. So tomorrow is where you need to have something in cloud, and everything is now moving into cloud. You are into whatever email platform you use, it's in cloud. Whatever maybe you are using an Amazon, it's on cloud. You are using any kind of online transaction, it's on cloud. So you need to think for a product which is cloud based, so that you don't use up or have any kind of constraint on a local storing. And cloud has got a lot of facility. It has got a safety, it has got a security. You can have a proper backup. You can ask for the data anytime, and there is no limitation of storage. You can keep for as many days you want. So that's where you need to think through. So I will what we will suggest: look for a product which is definitely on a cloud, not on a local server base.
Hello.
Yeah, Mr.
Yes.
Atul Kumar Mishra.
Sir, Sandeep this side.
Yes, Sandeep.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. Sandeep this side from Raman Munjal Vidya Mandir, Sidrawli, Gurgaon.
Okay.
Sir, first of all,
tell me.
First of all, I would like to say thank you to organize such type of webinar to discuss all the things. And
Thanks,
I
sir.
have
Thanks.
a question. I have a question about the platform cost, the virtual platform cost.
Okay.
So I would like to say,
Yeah, sir. Carry on. Yeah.
Okay. In this challenge, some of service providers are developing their virtual classroom platform, and some of has developed. But they are offering their platform with a huge cost. So so there is they are demanding so much money. So it is not possible to school to take their platform with this amount. So what is the solution? What should school do?
You rightly said, there are three things basically for anybody to decide upon whether it's we are buying anything for our home or for our organization. First is the product, second is the service, and third is the price.
Yeah.
Because anything and everything comes with a cost.
And you rightly said there are a lot of players who are having some different costs and propositions. So, as if you ask as an education partner, so my suggestion will be keep the cost aside as a last point. As I said, first you identify your requirement. First, you need to be very clear what is your requirement. Then match your requirement with the product. Because if the product doesn't match your requirement and you are taking a product which is a misfit, then there is no, I will suggest you don't go for the product. So first, finalize your requirement, get the right product which meets the requirement. Second, find a partner who can deliver service. And cost is definitely which can be debatable, because see, we also have launched a product. It's not that we have launched it at a very premium price. It's not like that. But why I'm saying so, the cost you need to keep it at the last, because you need to first finalize what is your requirement and is the product matching you. Then there is obviously a negotiation.
Manoj, I would like to add here.
Right.
A small point. So definitely there is a. I don't know what you're talking about, the cost or the price. If you look at the cost, there are two parameters on any product or services what we use. One we call the cost, second we call the price. Cost has a lot of factors built in. Cost as a factor, typically as Manoj was sharing, like everything is getting into virtual space, storage on the cloud. So if you are bringing in something, is this time tested? The service or the product which you are choosing, is it future ready? The service or product which you are talking about, will this have enough of a security? Because school is an education where you are training the most vulnerable mind and you are directing them. And when you start analyzing all those parameters, then comes the price. So I'm pretty sure you are not discussing about the price. You are talking about the cost. So cost is, if you start evaluating each parameter and every parameter, you will start looking at the price. Price is one very small factor, as what Manoj said. Just build up your parameter, your testing tools, your requirements. Requirements can be a very basic explicit requirement is that we want to deliver online classroom. Then when you start saying it, do you want your IPR to be preserved? Do you want your data to not to be hacked? Do you want the pornographic content should not get in? There are multiple things. When you start ticking, then you come on then you decide on what is the solution you are looking for, and then last we decide is the price and cost. And when we look at Acer, the cost is the last thing. Price, yes, definitely is one of the important consideration where we look at, but cost is overall benefit what we get. Having said that, we in India, typically the people who take public transport also, people drive JLR also. So when they start realizing the cost of their services, what they do. So my point is, start analyzing what actually you want, and then you will get the answer. The price answers are very realistic or relative. I think Manoj, you can add on.
No, that's very rightly said. That's what I am telling, sir. That Sandeep, sir, you first have to find out what you are requiring. What are your requirements? Get the right product, get the right partner to provide you the product and the service, and then price will definitely match. It's not that nobody will like not to match a price which is the requirement by the customer. So I will request Piyush to engage somebody from his team to meet Mr. Sandeep and get his requirement further understood and analyzed, and then we can suggest the right product to him.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Manoj.
Okay, so we are done, Piyush. We have already 7 minutes past 3. So I will again pass it back to you for the closing statement.
Thank you so much, Manoj sir. Thank you, Mr. Anand, for coming in and sharing your valuable inputs. It was very appreciable, and I would like to thank all the participants who have come in and spared their valuable time and shared their valuable inputs. We will definitely
try and incorporate all these things, and whatever valuable suggestions you have further, please feel free to reach out to us and mail it to us as well. And we have also pasted a link for feedback, which is a very important thing for us to understand how well we did and how what all we can improve on. So please go to the chat box and you can refer to the link being sent there, and please post your feedback there. Apart from this, as mentioned at the beginning, in collaboration with Acer, we would be sending you a link for quiz wherein top 5 entries will be shortlisted, and we'll be providing you with the prizes for those top 5 entries. And we look forward to your feedback and participation in further such webinars conducted by Tata Classic. Right. So thank you so much once again, Manoj sir, Mr. Anand. Thank you so much for joining in, and we look forward to more such sessions.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Piyush. Thanks, Manoj.
Thanks, Piyush. Thanks, Anand, and thanks everybody for joining, taking up your time on a Friday afternoon and joining this webinar. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.